I've been riding on a daydream.
We want to thank RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring this video.
We tried to do something a little bit different tonight, and we wanted to capture this. We talk about it all the time. It just so happens that Heidi and I went on a trip, and we were in 4 different hotels over the last, I'm sorry, 3 different hotels over the last 4 days. And getting into our bed, we just climbed into bed for the night, and it's such a comfort compared to what we were sleeping in. And we weren't sleeping in cheap hotels. We sleep in decent hotels. It's just this mattress is that good. So what mattress? This is RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. We have had this now for well over a year. This is a king size. And you can see we're in our home. But it all started with our RV. We've gone through a couple different iterations. Make sure that you call them, talk to them, or get online, look through what they offer to make sure that you're getting something that you definitely want. They have a lot of benefits, though. One of them is 120 nights sleep trial. So it's 4 months to figure out, is this the one for me? Once you do figure it out, you have a 10-year warranty. But the comfort that you'll receive is really, really great. Now, they also offer free shipping in the continental U.S. It's relatively quick. I think they have a couple of warehouses. The ones that we always got from was Arizona. Came FedEx right away. And real easy to, once you get it in the bed, you just unfurl it and you've got yourself a mattress. Now, we've got a couple of things we want to touch on, and that is they have a new mattress out called the Titan. Mm-hmm. And that's what this mattress is set up for, is people who are big, tall, strong, people that are like me.
I was just going to say that.
No, not really. I'm only 6 foot, but I am heavier. So it could be a mattress we might want to dibble in the future if we have a need. But this one is so perfect for us. Different this month than most. Usually we have a code in the description of the video, and you get 25% off. That was an exclusive offer for us. 25% off using that code, using the link in the description. You're not going to do that this time. For the month of July, 30% off. So there'll be a link down in the description for 30% off. Again, check out the code that's necessary for it. And if you miss this, if you're watching this video a little bit too late, or you were waiting until maybe next month, you didn't really have the funds for it or something, be rest assured you still get 25% off using our code. So how nice is it to be back in our own bed?
So nice.
It is. Even when we were on the road and we had our RV, when we would come back, if we went on a night trip, or a weekend trip somewhere, we'd get back in the RV and just feel so comfortable. So Brooklyn Bedding, again, big sale going on, so check it out, and check out their new Titan mattress. It's time to start another day, which is going to start another warm week. Look who's behind me. Can you believe it? She's actually off work. Yay. It's a miracle. Today, I don't know when you guys are watching this, but today is it's Sunday. Is it Father's Day today? On a Sunday?
Father's Day is always on a Sunday.
Oh, I don't know that. So we wanted to get Heidi out here and get her thoughts on something that finally happened, which I'll show you guys first, and then we'll come back and ask Heidi about it, or we'll have her comment on it as we look. The roof is finished. It's completely done. Now, for you guys that live down south, you go, what are that angle iron up there? It's not angle iron, first of all. Those are pieces of the same material that the roof is made out of. Those are snow breaks or snow bars. It's so the snow don't come off in sheets and knock somebody out, because you have freezing and thawing and all kinds of stuff that happens. And you can get big, heavy sheets of snow that all of a sudden, guess what? All slide off the roof at the same time. You've seen videos of that stuff on YouTube probably. So obviously Heidi and I's been talking about painting and stuff like that and color combinations. What do you guys think in the comments? Should we mess around with repainting all the aluminum? It is faded quite a bit. It is dingy in spots. Again, this isn't for us. This is just for resale reasons only. We will probably repaint this. This looks kind of dumb, don't you think, Heidi? The green.
Well, it's what
It should be
the color of the house.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. And then they painted the crossbars here, which I think that might be a little dated. We might have to redo that. Of course, I need
whatever we painted, it's going to be a solid color. The door.
Yeah, purple. That's right. Purple.
I didn't say purple.
Heidi said pink and purple.
The same color as
Yeah.
the beige on the house.
Yeah, whatever color that is. Beige, tan, light brown, I don't know. I can't tell. So let's
this color, I think.
yeah. Somebody's having a party over there, right? So of course we've already seen the garage. Like I said, it's been done a while, but they came back and finished off the stuff that is on the front. We'll check out the front here in a bit, but they did the little side here, which they did a really good job. They used an entire caulking tube to seal off that area that's up against the brick. But that's the way all the roof is. It's sitting on fairing strips. Remember, there's wood down there, right? So I told the guys whenever they were climbing and messing around, I said, "Hey, that's all poison ivy," and they said that it doesn't bother them. They don't have any problems with it. I'm like, well, better that you guys don't. So I have some work to do. Like, I have to take off the cable that's on the front there, that's up against the siding. What do you see?
Something's digging.
Oh, really?
Because I put all this dirt, I put a bag of dirt down.
Oh, yeah, something did dig a little hole there. Well, there's only one place they could be going. Either under the ground and just hanging out by the pipe, or they're making it into the house. So this is the extent of the side. I like the way that they did it all, to tell you the truth. This roof hardly sees any water. I mean, it does get rain occasionally, but I'm talking about this little side one. We have to paint these access underneath the patio porch. But what do you guys think? Would you do metal roof yourself? Give me your thoughts on that. So far, I'm going to tell you that Heidi and I have not noticed any, I don't know, did you notice any difference in cell signal at all in there? Because I haven't. I flipped over to cell the other day.
Last weekend, I think it was. It had to be T-Mobile. After they installed the roof and left. Because I was having trouble at work.
Oh, but I don't think our roof caused that.
Well, you even said.
Yeah.
You even mentioned the roof.
Yeah. But I didn't see anything that told me for sure. It was definitely services that are in the area. So again, I think the front turned out pretty good. So I'm kind of holding you guys this way. So what do you think? I think they did a good job. I like it. I like everything that they did. The metal roof has a little bit of a flex to it right here, just because the way the roof was formed. You guys aren't seeing that at all, and honestly, a lot of people won't even notice it. I don't know if you guys can tell at all. Yeah, I like the way it looks. I'd love to be able to get up on top and see what it looks like, you know, on the dormers, because there's a lot of work that was done, intricate work that was done up there. Plus, you know, they got a couple little valleys on each dormer to help with the transition from the slope of the house to the slope and different angle of the dormer. They were up there for quite some time. They even said that it would have been done a lot sooner if it wasn't for the fact that there was so much involved with all those angles and cuts just for the dormers. So overall, would you do this again?
Yeah.
I would too. I'm going to let you guys know, if you're watching this, if you're in the area and you're looking for roofing, he specifically said, please let everybody know that might want their roof done. You know, recommend me, and that's an easy recommendation. You guys know how much trouble we've had over the year trying to get this house ready, and all the problems that we've encountered. And I'll tell you that we can put him on the list of great experience. So the basement windows, great experience. Our AC guy, great experience. Our window installs all the way around, great experience. And now the roofing, great experience. I mean, that's pretty good. So today is going to be 87, is that right?
I think so.
And then we are to have heat waves, a heat wave that lasts for a week, which is rare for Ohio, right?
We get it once in a while.
Yeah, but not usually 5 or 6 days. Usually it's 3 days. But yesterday was extremely pleasant. Today, I could live in this state all year round if it was like this all year round. It is just perfect right now. There's no humidity, which I could deal with a little bit more humidity, but what you see there, honey?
No, we need to put a something over here.
Little screen.
Yeah.
I agree. Heidi's got some plants here. Maybe she can tell you about them, because I don't know what the heck they are. What's these big things?
Zucchini.
This is zucchini?
Yeah.
Ooh, that means zucchini bread.
Of course, zucchini never has trouble growing.
Yeah. So let's come out here to the stuff that might be trouble growing. Now, Heidi already killed a bunch of seedlings.
Oh, it was just herbs. I left them out in the sun.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I can actually just grow those in the
So
house.
what's this?
These are peas.
This one's
And
peas?
then these are carrots.
Peas and carrots. How big do they get before the animals start eating them?
I don't know. I'll just bring these out and put around them because the raccoons, I think, don't like zucchini.
Oh, really?
So.
Well, funny thing is, I've only seen the raccoon one time in the last week. Boy, they got their music loud. Our fence is an ongoing thing. We're going to bank a little bit more money, I think, and call that guy up and have him come out and repair it, because we had a pretty decent payout to get our roof done, and then we have another little payout that we didn't expect. So it took from...
Bad.
Well, that's funny Heidi says that, because when Davy Tree was... Yeah, pretty much. When Davy Tree was here, I asked them if there's any chance they could take that down also, because it was damaged and they wanted nothing to do with it. So we're enjoying the day. I don't think that we had anything specific planned for Heidi's today. Today's her day off. I didn't really get to show you guys the basement once that the bikes were all out of here. We got a little bit more room. If you remember, some of you saw us down here doing that whole pressure washer deal, where we were pressure washing the entire basement, everything. I mean, everything. The walls up to a certain point, but the entire floor. I mean, we really hit it with the floor scrubber. And I mean, it was clean down here. Now, when it flooded, that was the worst part. When the storm drain backed up, you could see I have a layer of silty sand, dirt in here that now I have to go back and clean up again, which is not ideal. But getting back to what I was saying, we just have Heidi's favorite bike that she's had forever. She's got the other one that has the double battery on Facebook Marketplace right now. Then our two Segway scooters that we've had, for a while. Let's just say a while. They're, like I said, they're just good, utility type vehicles. They don't do any one thing great. They just do it all very good. So I guess that makes them great. But yeah, I didn't really get to show you guys the basement starting to get cleaned up. I still have stuff over here, like that air compressor. There's a couple of solar panels. There's a refrigerator over there. There's a solar charger. That stuff we got to get rid of also. I mean, it's just here. But we haven't really figured out the basement and what to do here. I was thinking about making a studio down here, but the audio is kind of weird, so I'd have to put down some carpet, definitely put in some backdrops, or if anything, paint the wall once again, which we need to do anyways, to make it more a solid color. And at that point, we could do, green screen and backdrops a little bit easier. But yeah, I come down here because even though it looks horrible, don't get me wrong, you guys can say all you want. We have to paint all this area. All this needs painted. And this needs finished. You could see where there was something here. I don't know what it was, but I think there was a door here and they removed it. And that's why it's all exposed ends on this glazed tile. It's the same here. It's exposed. And up here, even the tiles have pushed back a little bit. But this is a very functioning shower that we have. I always put this up to drain before I use the shower. But it's a very functional shower. It's very nice. It does a really good job. But yeah, I need to start my day off with a good hot shower. It's one of those days that you just wake up and you just feel icky for whatever reason. What's the weather?
The current weather is 73 degrees Fahrenheit with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast has some sun and thunderstorms, with a high of 95 degrees and a low of 72 degrees. The forecast for the next 7 days: Tuesday, 94 degrees Fahrenheit and some sun and thunderstorms. Wednesday, 96 degrees and partly sunny weather. Thursday, 96 degrees and high temperatures. Friday, 96 degrees and partly sunny weather. Saturday, 94 degrees and intermittent clouds. Sunday, 88 degrees and partly sunny weather. Monday, 79 degrees and partly sunny weather.
Wow, how about that? I get on Facebook Marketplace just like anybody else. Heidi does quite a bit too. We sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace. But a bit of a rant here for you guys that like the rant. When I worked for Sears years ago, I was the guy that came around in the blue van that had the dog dish up on top. Which was just the satellite thing that kept track of where we were. But I was the guy that came out and fixed your mower, fixed your barbecue grill, fixed your treadmill, fixed your garage door opener, pretty much anything that was outdoor powered. And I always hated, and still to this day, whenever people are either doing it on purpose or maybe they're just misinformed. If you have a mower or a car, or especially a weed eater, or a chainsaw, or something like that. If you have any of these items, and it does not run, and like in this case, the description, it says weed eater for large projects, haven't used for a few years, won't start, okay, I want to go back to that, won't start, will need tune-up. If it won't start, if it doesn't run, it doesn't need a tune-up. It needs a repair. Sears used to have this thing that they offered back in the spring, and people would try to take advantage of it all the time. And if you had a good running mower, it was a good deal. And what that was is the tune-up special, and this is going back quite a few years, it was like $150, $160. And I would come out to your house for that price, and I would offer you 2 new spark plugs if you had a twin-cylinder engine, a new air filter, a new pre-filter if it was, if it came with a pre-filter initially from the factory, a new fuel filter. I would change your oil, and I would change your blades. all for $150, $160. That's even if you had a triple blade deck and a twin cylinder engine. You know, you've got a lot of parts there and labor, but you did have to be part of their warranty program there, you know, that you pay extra for the extended warranty to get that offer. It never failed. Every spring I would personally get at least 10 people, closer to 20 usually, that would call up and make their appointment with the dispatch in Columbus, and I would get the call, and it was required by Sears that I called them to make sure they were going to be at home or somebody over 18 was at home before I even traveled to their house, because I may have to travel, 70 miles before I even get to their home. So if they're not there, it doesn't do any good. So I would call, and my spiel was the same thing every time. So let me go ahead and try it. Ring, ring.
Yes, hello?
Hi, this is Mike from Sears. I see that we're scheduled for a spring tune-up on your riding lawnmower.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm on my way. I'm about an hour away. I just want to make sure that somebody's going to be there, somebody over 18's available, so I can come out and perform that tune-up.
Yeah, you sure can.
All right, just out of curiosity, is the mower in pretty good shape? Is the battery charged? Is it, running fine?
Well, no, that's kind of why I went to tune up, because it quit running last year, and it's actually, it's out in the yard. I just left it out there when I was cleaning up the leaves last year, and, it wouldn't start again, so I just left it out there. I put a tarp on it, and it's been out there ever since.
Well, sir, I'll let you know that I will come out and do the installation of the tune-up, complete with the blades, the spark plugs, the air filter, the fuel filter, all that. However, I'm not going to get it running for you. I'm just performing the tune-up. So you could have your entire transmission blown out, and a tune-up is not going to fix that. You could have belts broken that run your deck. That tune-up's not going to fix that. You could have it to where it just cranks over and over and over again and don't start, and it's because the carburetor is clogged up. I'm not fixing that. I'm just coming out and doing a tune-up.
Oh, I thought you would get it running for the tune-up.
End of that. So that's the way it went all the time. We had people that had broke down mowers that thought, oh, all I need is a tune-up. And I wanted to point out that it's still going strong. In this case, this guy says won't start, will need a tune-up. No, won't start, will need repaired is what that should read.
Good morning, YouTube. Yet another day. I think I might have to pry open these windows. The nice thing about, and if you guys don't know this from the rest of the country, I'm sure it's like that in your state, but for the people that live in Florida, and they talk about, oh yeah, it's hot for most part of the day, and then when we do have rain, the rain, only lasts so long, and then, the afternoon showers or whatever, and then they just disappear. Well, in Ohio, and I'm sure other states throughout the country, it's like that here whenever it's hot. So whenever we get Florida-like temperatures, because of our proximity to Lake Erie and the way that the weather patterns form, we get the potential for, afternoon or evening showers pretty much every day when we're this warm. So again, we've got another 90, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be 95 today. I think the heat index might be 100. I'm shooting this on my phone, so forgive me with the moving around. I had somebody come look at the truck yesterday. They were concerned because the bed, even though it has a bed liner in it, there are two spots. One of them's about as big as my hand, and then the other spot's about as big as my fist, I guess. That the liner's the only thing there. There's a hole rusted through in the bed. And he says, well, I don't know. You could. So I climbed up in the bed of the truck and I jumped around. And I said, as long as you stay away from those 2 spots, I said, it's solid. I said, if you're really concerned about those 2 spots, I said, you don't even need a 1/2 inch. You know, you only need a 3/8 inch piece of plywood. And you can set it up to where it will, you know, cut it out for the bed. And I said, you'd be fine. Or you can go get one of those really thick rubber mats and throw that in there and it would be fine. But anyways, it looks like Ruben's getting a new air conditioner. Well, you know, with the heat the way it is, I don't know why he got such a little air conditioner. I would have got a big one. All right, so why am I wandering out here? I think I need to tackle this disaster out here. I haven't string trimmed the sidewalk. I haven't string trimmed the walkway. And most importantly, I got to go get a couple 5-gallon buckets. And I need to clean up our street on this side. I don't want it to become that. It definitely needs taken care of. So what I'll do is I'm going to shovel up all this stuff into buckets and then find homes for the dirt, which shouldn't be too hard to do. But yeah, maybe I can edge this part too. It's a little bit hard with my edger because I need to have a place for it to roll on that's flat to make a good cut. So that's what I'm doing. Still loving the way the roof looks though. Oh, we did find out that problem though. Did I show that to you guys yet? No, I didn't. So let me go ahead and go to that clip, and that is the rain and what we experienced with the rain. Well, it looks like I need to look at that gutter because the water's running, I believe, past the gutter from the roof. We're running into a problem with our new metal roof. The water's running past the gutter. I don't know what to do. We'll have to do something about the gutter, I guess. I mean, you can even see it here. I mean, it's just running past the gutter. All right, we're going to see if I can do this without getting struck by lightning, I guess. That's one thing, but I want to look at these gutters, how it's overshooting. Yeah, you can see there. It's overshooting it for sure. So that needs to be higher, I'm guessing. That one's overshooting. Oh, I see. They're overshooting where the dormers are emptying it out. Wow. Okay. Well, we got to do something about that. Wow, I didn't even think about that. I think that these are fine except for the dormers. Yeah, that's where this water's coming from too. Look at that. I'm glad I came out here and looked at that. So that must be the same situation going on in the front also. Because nothing's overrunning here. Look at that. Well, that might be an easy answer then. Well, this one here, the gutter's really high. So it's not overshooting on that one. But this one here, where the gutter has gone low, yeah, look, it's trying to overshoot. So, okay, I know what we got to do now. Okay, so yeah, it's the same thing. The gutters are just too darn low. They shouldn't be that low. They should be much higher. See, the thing is, there's a fine balance here in any state that really sees snow and ice, that if your gutters are too high, then when all that snow and ice slides off, it will take out the gutters. So you can guess that that's something we don't want to happen. Yeah, we're gonna have them raise that stuff. These were potentially pretty okay. These weren't too bad. I watched the water run down and it seemed okay. I had to clean the gutters out, but all right, I'm just avoiding the work. Let me get to work. So pardon my heavy breathing, but this is what happens when the heat index is like 97 out, and you're 100 pounds overweight and in your late 50s. But I got it all cleaned up out here, so what I'm going to do is they get the leaf blower. Well, I better mow first, then I'll get the leaf blower out here and blow all this up. But yeah, the wagon filled. So what I think I'm going to do with this is try to fill up. There's some places underneath the truck that need filled, and then behind the fence. So let me go get my keys and do that. So I got the yard knocked out. You can see I didn't blow any grass over there onto him at all. I'm sure that'll change. And Heidi says, you need to get in the house. It's too hot. You shouldn't be out there. I said, well, I guess I can let the grass go one more day, but I more thought about it. If we have a good hard thunderstorm for a couple days, that might be an issue. My nose is clogged up. These allergies. So somebody had asked me when we were at our old house about cross mowing, and really the only reason that, I guess there's two reasons. One is for aesthetics. Sometimes, you know, if you've got a pattern going in both directions, it kind of, I don't know, it looks a little better, I think, maybe. We used to just have stripes, but we're doing cross mowing for a complete different reason than what you think. The reason is because the mower deck's so big that it doesn't cut evenly. It doesn't cut all the grass evenly. So you have to go in another direction and go over the same area for that grass to get chopped. Now, don't take that as, oh, my mower don't mow very well. It mows fine. But because it's in this case, a 54-inch deck, the bigger the deck, the more likely it is that it could miss a spot, especially when you have a lawn like this that has a lot of divots and undulations and holes, basically holes in the yard. That causes the mower to move, and the deck is suspended from the mower. So when the suspension moves, the deck at that point may not hit an area that it needs to. Now there's exceptions out there, and that's why at our old house my riding lawnmower was a Simplicity. It's because a lot of the Simplicities, they have a deck that rides on the ground, that is made to ride on the ground. The mowers that have wheels on them doesn't necessarily mean they're to ride on the ground. 99% of the time they're not supposed to ride on the ground. Those wheels are for anti-scalping reasons. It's so you hit a hole or your vehicle, your mower drops kind of low and your deck catches an edge. Well, you put wheels on those edges so it doesn't dig in the ground and, you know, could potentially even throw you off the mower. But the Simplicity decks, those for the most part, not zero turns, but riding lawnmowers, they ride on the ground. They have a big roller that goes all the way across the back of the mower, if they have a striping kit, or they have wheels on the back of the mower. And that's how you set and adjust the height of your cut on your deck, is based on how those wheels are in proportion from the deck. But on like the mower that I have, the zero turn that I have, the height is determined by how far the mower lowers it from the frame. It has nothing to do with the ground. So that's why people cross mow. And when you have a zero turn, you usually get the lawn done so fast you can double mow it, and it would be the equivalent of just mowing it one time with a rider. This is a sad day. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It looks as if we are now into Japanese beetle season. So I'm going to have Heidi get a bag-a-bug out here. Although we don't really care so much about these bushes, I just don't like these things tearing stuff up, and they are everywhere out here. So yeah, Japanese beetle season. Ay, ay, ay.
Right now, it's 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 76 degrees.
How about that? We finally got that Florida-like weather that I love. I know it's 90 on the porch here. I gotta come back in and get some stuff, but I thought that I would talk to you guys about something that I'm just driving me nuts. I don't know at what point in time that somebody thought this was acceptable. So you guys get a rant right off the bat. What happened was last time we left off here, Heidi, she's checking out the roof and, what she likes about it. I gotta go get the trash cans. And we're happy with the roof. We like the roof. My quarrel that I have, I guess, with something that's going on is something to do with a guy that was bothering us. That's the only way I can describe it. I got something in the background here I'm going to be doing a little bit later. Sneak peek. Boing! Heidi's been wanting one ever since we moved back into a home. So let me see if I can put it in a nutshell. Which won't happen. You guys know that. You see how long the videos are. I've got one editing right now. I don't know when you guys are watching this, but I've got some stuff coming up, and I don't know if it'll be on this video or not. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying. We, through just luck, we got hold of our realtor, and he told us about someone that did the roof of a coworker of his. And we contacted them, and they came out, and it was the Enos Yoder and his crew. Great bunch of guys, great pricing, great work, fast work. Everything about it was great. Again, I said that on the video earlier about how it was a positive experience. But during the time that we were having the work done, it was the first weekend, and they were in the middle of the work, and they were getting a lot of the roof done, and they were moving. They were, they were working hard. So this truck had driven by. It's an older Chevy truck, maybe a 2010. And he's driven by, and he's going real slow down the road. And the one thing you find out about living in the city, depending on what city, but like this city, in this neighborhood, two things happen. The challenge walk, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that's whenever you're driving down the street and the person that is on their feet walking down the road don't want to use the sidewalk. They want to use the street. Not only that, but they're going to cross the street or use the street however they see fit. And if you're in a car, you will have to come to a stop for them, regardless of where they're at, regardless of how fast you're going, because they're challenging you. They want you to try to hit them. They want you to hit them. They want you to bow down to whatever. Now, this has been going on for decades. We lived in West Akron. That happened all the time over in West Akron in the neighborhood that we lived. That's where I learned about it. It still happens here. I don't know why, because the way people drive anymore, they ain't paying attention in the first place, so good luck with that. Second thing that happens here. The rule is, if I'm driving down the street, if I'm a typical neighbor of this neighborhood, if I'm driving down the street in my pickup truck and I see Heidi driving in her car, or if I see our son coming back from the store in his car, I can, without any concern of anybody that might be behind them or might be behind me, the hood rules dictate that I can just stop in the middle of the road, roll down my window, and carry on a full-blown conversation for as long as I want. Not only that, my passenger may get out of my truck, if Heidi's riding with me, for example, and walk over and stand at the window and talk for a little while before she gets back in the truck and goes, while people are waiting behind one another. I don't know where that started, but that is a pain. I hate that. You know, we leave here and we're trying to go uptown or something, and there's a couple cars sitting in the street way up on the corner here. They don't do it so much in our area here, in our neighborhood. It's like around the corner or down that way. They just stop in the middle of the street and, they just chat it up. I don't know what the deal is. The other thing that they'll do, I'm not sure why, but if you just happen to be parked on the street or working on the curb, like I was working the other day, you heard me breathing like the fat man that I am, which, just to let you know, somebody had made a comment about that refrigerator fan that I installed on our refrigerator, our RV refrigerator, and I was talking about air circulation and how important it was for the RV refrigerator to have air circulation inside to keep everything cool equally. And they made comment that looking at me and how fat I was, there should be no problem with air circulation because I'd be eating all the food out of the fridge. Now, granted, that was kind of funny, but they weren't saying it for it to be a joke. They don't watch our channel, and they didn't realize that I bust myself on how fat I am, probably more than they ever will, but I thought that was kind of bad. Anyways, they're blocked. Getting back to what I was saying, I was out working on the street, and I didn't bother bringing the truck out and parking it out on the street like I normally would as sort of a safety block. And I can't believe how fast somebody will pass you, and they won't even get over a little bit. They just, 50 miles an hour, they'll drive right past me, within a foot and just not care. All right, I've got one more that's added to that whole list that I just talked about. You guys, I'm sure you've experienced this at some point in time. All those things I just mentioned. But this one, when those guys were up on the roof working their butts off, I happened to come out the front door and I was doing something with an extension cord. And Enos was on the roof doing what he needed to do. And one of the other guys was out in the front yard doing whatever he needed so he could give the sheet metal that he was cutting to Enos, and Enos could continue to work. So this guy that's driving real slow up the street in this pickup truck, it's all dollied up. It's got all these pinstripes that go around the door and stuff, and it's got louvers on the back window, and he stops in the middle of the street, what a surprise, actually in the oncoming lane, crooked, and blows his horn. So I'm like, doing this, like, hey, what do you need? And he starts yelling at the Amish guy in the front yard, hey, who's the owner? And he goes, what's that? And he goes, who's the owner? And he turns around and points at me, and I go, you looking for the owner of the house? And he said, who's in charge of this job? And the Amish guy goes, that's Enos. Well, I need to talk to him. I'm thinking, this crew is on my dime, basically. Now, don't get me wrong. We had a price that was agreed upon, to have the roof done. If it took them 10 hours and 10 hours to do it, over 2 days, so be it. If it took it 1 hour and 1 hour over 2 days, so be it. It didn't make a difference. It was the same price. However, for the most part, these guys were being paid by me to do the job on my roof. I don't want them distracted from their job. I let it go. Enos climbs down off the roof, down the ladder, and out to his truck. And this guy starts talking about, I want to know what I can get what you would charge me for a 20 gauge metal roof. And I'm like, they don't do 20 gauge. And Enos right away, he says, hey, they don't do 20 gauge. That's like commercial. He said, that's commercial. He goes, they don't, that's too much. So the guy then basically wanted Enos to give him a quote right then. He's describing his house. He's describing, he lives a couple blocks over. And he's talking about, the roof's about the same as ours, sort of, but it's a little smaller. And that doesn't make a difference. Who does that? Who does that, Well, somebody who thinks they're entitled, that's who does that. All right, so it gets worse. Enos tells him, listen, I will be done with this house, on Saturday, next Saturday. I'm coming back, and I'll be done with the house. I will come down and give you an estimate. Here's my number. The guy's like, okay. So then Enos went back to work. That guy sat out there for a few minutes watching, and then he slowly drove off, pulled out in front of a car. Kind of. The car was back a ways, but this guy's driving at 5 miles an hour, and these cars are driving at 30. So he basically, impeded their flow. A little bit later that day, as they were working, that guy drove by real slow again, past the house, watching what they were doing. Didn't think anything about it because he didn't stop. So then, about Wednesday, during the week, again, it took them a week, 2 weekends to do it. And I say 2 weekends, they only work on Saturday. So the first Saturday, where all this went down, where that guy was talking to him and everything. And then the following Saturday, when they came back to finish up the job. So after the first Saturday, the first Wednesday that came across, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I look out I just happened to catch out of the corner of my eye, and that guy is sitting in his truck out in front of our house. Just sitting there. Like I don't know, I thought, okay, maybe he's just looking at the job overall, whatever. And I'm not going to bother, I don't care what he's doing out there necessarily, but it seems weird. So then on Friday, he came and drove by the house again and stopped out and parked his truck out in front of the house and just sat there. 3 minutes, just sat there. Just, again, I don't know what he's looking at. It looks exactly the same as it did, when he saw it on that previous Saturday. They were pretty much finished up at that point in time with the majority of the home. And what he was looking at was pretty much the same. And it's definitely the same from Wednesday, because he had told him, Saturday, we'd come back and do Saturday. All right, now it's Saturday, and the crew's here, and they're out there working, and they're busting their butts, and they're getting the job done. And you know what I'm going to tell you. You know it. That's right. Here comes that truck again, and he drives up, and the Amish guys, their transportation, their driver, he's sleeping in his vehicle because he's got to be here the whole time while they're here, until they're finished. And I don't know, it might be an early morning for him. It doesn't make a difference. It's his prerogative to sleep out there. He don't have to, he's just the driver. And the only time he drives is when they need lunch or need something from the hardware store, or if they need to drive him home. So he's out there taking a nap, and this guy pulls up and just lays on the horn right behind this guy's vehicle, again, facing the wrong direction in the street. So he's saying, where's the guy that I talked to last week? Enos is up on the roof, and he says, it's me. And he said, okay, all right, well, you're coming out to my house next, right? And about then, the guy that got woke up, he's, he kind of gets out of the vehicle, and he's just standing there. And Enos says, yes. He goes, I will be down. We have like 2 hours left. We have 2 hours left. And he goes, okay. And he sat there for about a minute, and then he backed up and then slowly drove down the street. An hour and a half goes by, closer to an hour 45 minutes. And here comes this truck again, and he pulls up to the front of the house, and he says, honk. So this time, the driver, he was up, and he was actually moving around. Him and I were talking, and he goes, yeah, you almost done there? And he just goes, no, we got a little bit more going on here, and we ran into some stuff, but yeah, we'll be down. Okay. And the guy that the driver, he walked back to that guy and said, well, he says, yeah, we're coming down to your place. And he said, well, I was at an appointment up the street, and I was worried that the time that I was gone, that they came down to my house and maybe missed me. Yeah, that sounds feasible, dude. That they all were working on the roof. They all decided after an hour and a half, even though they told you 2 hours, that they were going to climb down, hop in the van, have the driver drive them to your house, missed you at your house, came back, and then all climbed back up on the roof and started working. He knows that. It's just, he's being a pain in the ass. Now, I told Enos after that happened, and the driver, he kept his head cool about the whole thing. He said, let me have your exact address so I can make sure I get them down there. And I told Enos I said, Enos, whatever you're going to charge this guy, add money to it. Because if he's this big of a pain in the butt now, it's going to be really bad when they start working, you start working on their house. Because this guy, look at how much trouble he's caused you, and he hasn't even given you any money yet. And Enos, he kind of sloughed it off. They have a different way of thinking about things, and he was like, oh, yeah. All right, now, the roof has been done, and it's been done now for it's been 2 weeks now, I think. And I'm sitting in the house and I'm working. I'm editing video. And we have deliveries throughout the day. I have stuff delivered. We had this grill delivered, other review stuff delivered. Heidi's ordered Amazon stuff. And all of a sudden, I hear honk, 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 honk. Now, nobody's here. Heidi's at work. Our son, he's over in Youngstown doing something there. What was happening was, it was the same guy in the driveway blowing his horn like I'm some teenage girl just riding the pine waiting for some man to come blow the horn and take me out to dancing on Saturday night, like it's the 50s or something. Just blow the horn and the girl comes running. That guy literally was blowing his horn for me to come out there. Now, I know what he's going to want to know. Two things. Something about the roof and what I think about it. And number two, how much I paid. And you know what? Neither one of those things is his business. I don't care about him. Unless he wants to pay me money for my consultation, I'm not giving him any information. And the thing is if I tell him how much they paid, I'm adding at least $2,000 to it. So that way I can contact Enos and tell him, hey, whatever your estimate is, hold true to it. Because this guy's a pain in the butt. Who does that? Who does that? Just tell me. All right, I'm done ranting. Let's go ahead and talk about something else.
You guys think I'm kidding? Look at. This is a thing that goes on all the time. Look at these guys. Here comes a car. They're working on their car in the middle of the street, and they don't care. They don't care. They're going to leave the door open. They don't care. Luckily, that car's turning. But they want to close their door anyways. I mean, this is a thing. Look how they're just out there. That's their road. That's their road. You don't need to worry about driving your vehicle through here unless we get out of your way for you. Just one of those things, man.
So I will put the links for this down below. This is definitely a home type grill. Whenever we got into our home, our first home there, I went out and bought a gas grill, and it was a cheap gas grill. It was nothing fancy, nothing special, and it did a pretty good job. It wasn't bad. But then Heidi thought she might want to try out charcoal. So we got an expensive grill. At the time, it was like $225. It was on sale, but still, it was really expensive for a grill when we were paying, $120 for a gas grill. And what really works for Weber's is that they have an air intake on the bottom that's adjustable, and they have an air outlet on the top that's adjustable, and they put together a good product. You can control the cooking really easy. When you control the airflow, you control the cooking. And just that kettle design works really well. So Heidi really liked that a lot. So whenever we decided we were going to, cook on a grill in our RV, we got what they call the Weber Jumbo Joe. Now, they have another Weber that's not a Jumbo Joe. It's a little bit different, but it didn't have that same design. Now, the Jumbo Joe is much smaller. It's a portable one, and it don't have a table or anything like that, but it has an air intake in the bottom, and it has an air outlet on the top. So Heidi could control and cook. Now, we did a review on that when we were at Lock 30, quite a few years ago, and we were talking about we needed to get out of an F-150 and into an F-250 at the time to pull the RV. And we were happy with that grill. But we figured out as we used it, the more and more we camped, that when we went full time, that wasn't going to be feasible because you always have to carry charcoal with you, number one. And number two, you got to find a place to dump it. And a lot of the places, especially RV resorts or, RV parks, they didn't even have fire rings. You can't just dump it into a fire ring. There was no fire ring. You weren't allowed to have fires. So it was one of those things that we knew, unfortunately, we're going to have to get rid of that Jumbo Joe. And we did during our downsizing. We also got rid of our Performer during the downsizing, even though it was still 100% in great condition and everything was really, nice about it. We got a Weber grill, a gas grill, that we traveled with, and I think you guys have seen it. I'm going to walk over here just casually. We might see it here somewhere. I really don't know where I put it. I'm not looking real hard for it. There it is. It's right behind the big Weber. So we bought one of these Q grills. We got the cover for it, and this sat in the back of the truck. When we traveled, it was in the RV for a while. It was when we had a fifth wheel. It sat in the back of the truck all the time, and it did the job. It was great. It's spectacular. I have to say that if you guys are traveling full time and you like cooking on your grill, and you don't have a grill that attaches to the side of your RV or an outdoor kitchen, just get one of these. Maybe you want to get the ones that has the sides on it, that kind of pivot out and
give you little tables. But Heidi said she didn't really like those because they were plastic. She'd probably end up burning them by putting something hot on them. But she used this a lot. We'd always just plop it up on the picnic table. We'd always put a cover down on the picnic table if it looked like it was new and pristine. If it looked like everybody cooked on the picnic table, we didn't, we just followed everybody's, lead on that. But we cooked all of our outdoor meals on this grill, like, fish and stuff. If you don't want the RV to stink, this is the way to go. And we're very happy with it. So if you guys are full-time and thinking about it, Weber Q. Maybe I'll put a link down below for that or something here to where you can click on it. Great, great grill. Still works perfect. Heidi just used it 2 days ago. And the reason is because I got that grill for her and we knew it was nothing special. And the whole reason we got it is so I could just leave it outside. That was the only reason I got it, because this Weber Q grill, the worst part about it is you need a picnic table or a table or something to set it up on. If not, you got to leave it on the ground. Now Heidi, then that means she's got to sit, squat down and cook, on the ground. I didn't want her to, have to deal with that. And I thought, well, I'll get her one of these grills. It's a gas grill and it's cheap and we'll just, just leave it outside. Guess what? It sucks. And it sucks so bad. It sucks worse than the little grill that I just showed you. And it was only like $100 at the local box store. So Heidi says, I'm done with that. She goes, I can't even cook on it. It's so uneven. And I said, okay, I get it. What about getting another charcoal grill? She goes, oh, definitely. I said, Heidi, you don't have to ask permission from me to buy this grill. I said, you definitely deserve it. You like cooking on this thing, order it. She said, well, it was like $500. I said, I don't care. I said, we know that it works. We know it's awesome. We know, you already know everything about it. I said, this actually has a little bit more features than what ours did. This has like a built-in timer or something that you can carry with you to let you know how long stuff's on the grill. Anyways, she then went ahead and ordered it, and it took a few days to get here, but I got to put this together. That's the worst part. Now they have free assembly. I don't even know how that works. How does Amazon deliver and have free assembly? And honestly, I don't think I want the people that'll be coming out to assemble this to assemble it, because I'd still have to be working on it. When we had our Jumbo Joe, the vent on the bottom deteriorated. I don't know why. It was only like 1.5 years old, and it deteriorated to the point where it had holes in it. I called up Weber asking for a part number. I said, hey, I just out of curiosity, I said, the bottom vent on this thing it's gone. It destroyed itself. And I said, so can you give me the part number? I said, so I can I need to put a new one on there. And she goes, okay, well, what's the model again? And I told her, and she said, when did you get it? I said, oh, I don't know. It was a couple of years ago. And then she asked for my address and everything. And she said, all right, that'll be it. I said, well, what I owe you? How do I pay? Is it gonna? She goes, oh, no, I'll just send you one. I didn't even ask for it. And I said, are you sure? I said, because this is like, I think outside of the warranty. She goes, no, that's okay. She goes, we stand behind our stuff, and sounds like that you had a legitimate problem with something that, fell apart when it shouldn't. She goes, is there anything else that might, you be having a problem with? I said, well, I'll be honest with you. I said, I bought one of your grill covers for the Performer grill. And I said, man, that fell apart within a year. I said, it was like a $60 grill cover. And I said, it just, big hunks of plastic, the vinyl started coming off in pieces. I said, a lot. I said, to the point where it doesn't do, it doesn't even keep it dry or anything. And she says, okay, well, that one, she goes, do you had it within the year? I said, yeah. She goes, do you know where you bought it? I said, yeah, Amazon. She goes, can you give me the order number? I said, yeah. And I gave her the order number. And she goes, okay, that'll be in the mail also. That was it. So their customer service is great. I'm not going to say you're going to have the same experience necessarily, but we did buy a cover for this one. And when we got that other cover from the warranty,
That one fell apart just as fast too. So unless Weber's changed their cover design, we're not going to use a Weber cover. So we bought just another brand that had pretty good reviews, because the third cover we bought for our Performer grill, that one lasted a pretty decent amount of time. Well, till the point, until we sold it. So, all right. I don't know if I just bored you to death talking about barbecue grills, but I sure tried. Heidi made her way home early today because she wanted to party. So I got the grill together. It's much better built than, let me rephrase that. They improved it from the last one. The last one, how many years do we have it?
Maybe 10? 8 or 10?
The only thing that happened on that one was when I was cleaning it one time, which the way I clean this, Heidi likes me to clean it. When it gets really, really dirty and old, about 5-6 years old, I get this so hot in here that it catches the kettle on fire. And I just let it burn off. Black, roaring smoke. Whenever I did that, these melted a little bit right here.
Not much, though.
Not much. They still served a purpose. They did everything they're supposed to. But they made some improvements from ours, which this model kind of came out about 3 months after we bought ours. And ours was on sale. And they made improvements. Like I said, they did this. This is a metal hammer tone finish now. The other one used to be a high impact plastic, but the plastic tainted, it stained. We couldn't get it cleaned. You couldn't put anything hot on there. It would, it'd melt it. If you put something hot on there by accident, it would melt it. Heidi always used, a pan on it, but still, well, we never melted it. It's just, it looked real bad. They improved some of the assembly. The basket, the way the basket goes in there, the catch basket for the ashes, that's a little bit different. That's improved. And then this, it gives you an option. So Heidi, we used to use these. These were the little traps to kind of add charcoal to the baskets, or maybe to reach in and move the baskets. That was the only thing that the grill had, was these. Well, now they've added this thing here, which my fingers are too fat to do it. We'd use a tool anyways, but yeah, you can pull the center out and do your charcoal that way. And those are the baskets that I was talking about. The other improvement that they made was I didn't have to assemble the baskets. they were together last time. I mean, they're only, slot A into slot B. It's not that it was hard, but for whatever reason, those were assembled now. Again, they added the timer, and if you don't know, some of the features, we got used to having this. This is where we keep the charcoal, where we also kept a pair of pliers and some newspaper in case we were using a chimney, which we're not using a chimney now.
Does it say this will fit the...
That's what it says. This is not, like I had mentioned before, it's not the brand Weber, because the brand Weber fell apart. But yeah, nice gauge, nice handle. Everything about it's really nice. They didn't get cheap over the years. That one's going to go back.
Well, it might be okay.
Well, here's the thing.
You want me to turn it around and see if it fits better?
Yeah. Our other one.
It's like I couldn't tell.
Our other one went all the way down to the wheels.
But it was a lever.
Yeah. Well, no, the second one wasn't. The first one was. But the covers are $72.
I think this one might be just...
Okay, wait a minute. Maybe we had it backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Oh,
this is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
see
is
how
it.
it's cut out?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the name's got to face out. This cover's perfect then. This is exactly how the other one fit. So that's good.
Yeah.
It was real. I mean, this cover was like $26, and you got those two tools. You got that scraper and you got that thing. Oh. Just a heads up, Heidi will give you a public announcement.
Of what?
About the stainless scrubbers.
Oh yeah, you probably shouldn't use them.
We pay attention, but you shouldn't. You
shouldn't
use them necessarily.
Oh.
We do pay attention though, and Heidi's going to tell you why.
Because you get these little tines in on the grill, and then you cook your food, and then
you start eating
belly.
Yeah, you start eating.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, so we always pay attention when we're cleaning.
Ooh, these are pretty nice for
it came with the cover.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, they
I
lock.
have a couple pairs of these in the house.
Isn't that cool?
I'm using for the grill.
But yeah, this
Now,
is.
we left.
Ooh, this smells China.
We left our house in October of 2020. I swear we left with one of these, and guess what? We could never find it.
Yeah.
Even still to this day, we kept finding it.
I don't know where it is.
So we never had a grill cleaner.
So we have to. We got a kind of a weird situation here. I guess you're gonna have to burn it off using the charcoal,
Yeah, that's fine.
and we'll have to get it really
I'm
hot for
probably
the
gonna
first
get a
time.
rag and wipe off the grill. You know.
Well, it'll burn
grates.
off whatever's on there.
Put the charcoal in there.
All right, so we're gonna put charcoal in here. We're gonna get it fired up, and then I'm gonna push it in the garage, and we're gonna close the door. But we're gonna get this thing cleaned off. So I didn't know here. What's your early release today?
3:30.
Yeah.
Why did it say 6 on the schedule?
What's today?
Today's Saturday. I
Oh
get off at
no,
3:30.
there's nothing on the
I'm
schedule.
supposed to get off at 3:30.
There's nothing on the schedule.
Oh,
Bud's over at one of his friends' house there.
that's cool.
I think I got the house pretty cool.
It is.
Okay.
I went in there. It was nice.
All right, so it's all set up. We're going to finish up, and I need
I'm trying to
to.
decide if I should do them like I always did them.
What are we cooking today? When I say we,
Chicken wings.
when I say we. So you're doing wings?
Yeah.
Okay. I would probably. I don't know what you want to do,
I always cooked them this way.
but we got to fire it up in the middle
Right,
anyways
I
to
know.
start with.
I know.
This is fun. This is this is like old, like everything comes back to you immediately.
Yeah.
You know, we cook so much on it. All right, we got
We'll
a
pick
grill.
it up later.
Yeah, later.
I run the grill at 400. It's starting to cool off now. About 375 or 350. Sorry. But this is the finished product. They look beautiful. I already taste tested one, obviously, to make sure it's done. And make sure it tastes delicious. So that's the finished product with our Weber grill. Absolutely love it.
Good morning, YouTube. Another day in the upper 80s. Today looks a little cloudy, though. And we have a little bit of movement that we are going to be doing. I mean, Heidi and I, we're going to be going on a trip. So we have a few things that we need to do. First of all, I wish it hadn't rained as much as it did. As we are needing to mow. As you can tell by the white clover. But it did pour pretty darn good. It's not too bad. That's not bad. I don't know what it's like over the fence, though. This is a taller part of the fence. Let me see if I can get up here. Oh, I can mow. See how the neighbor lets this go real high? Then they'll mow and blow all of it over here. You've heard that story. I already told you that. But we'll get this mowed maybe either later today if the sun comes out, or tomorrow. I'll tell you, these trees are so beautiful, but they are so huge, and it's just a matter of time for them to come down. It's like a park setting right now back here. I mean, I could have a really nice, a big gazebo. Somebody that, you know, wants a really good home, this would be perfect for a family. You know, of course, when we fix the fence, it'll make it to where they could have a pet back here and it could run. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's just not our neighborhood. And I'll expound on that a little bit more. You know, I was talking the other day, kind of ranting about those people that were, you know, out on the street. You've seen it. I don't get it. I don't get what's going on down, you know, in places like that. And then the other thing I don't get is we have numerous people that go up and down this street, and they all have big backpacks on. Big backpacks. I'm not talking, you know, a little backpack that, like my man purse. I'm talking about big backpacks. I'm talking about, I don't even know what, and they're full. Now, what would strike you in the middle of the day to be walking down the street with a backpack on like that? It's kind of sus. Let's just say that. But, I mean, it could be innocent, but there's 3 different people that walk down the street that have those big backpacks on. Maybe it's a thing that I don't know about. I know I have to break down this box, and I can't put it in the back of the truck and take it up to cardboard recycling today, because I have other stuff going on with the truck, namely, truck go bye-bye. We had somebody that contacted us yesterday and said we'd like to come out and look at the truck. And as soon as they did, they're like, yeah, we want this. They took it for a test drive and they like it. Which they needed a vehicle that start, run, drove, didn't overheat, you know, stopped good, accelerated good, did everything it's supposed to. I mean, and this was it. It did everything it's supposed to. So, that's worth some money, as Heidi and I are finding out, because we're thinking that when the lease is up on our Kia, I think we're just going to, go out and buy a car. And it's tough. It is tough compared to the way it was. This is coming from somebody who's an informed buyer that, has some mechanical skills and look for good deals, and used to be able to buy cars that lasted me for years with very little work, or at least easy work. And man, the market has changed so much. Even when we bought this car down in Florida, this was a great deal. We have had, or our son has had, put over, I don't know, maybe 20,000 miles, maybe even more than that, maybe about 30,000 miles since he bought it. He puts on quite a bit of miles. He's been, to Jersey with it. He's been to Boston with it. He's been down to Tennessee with it a couple of times. He's been to Michigan. The car has been, perfect. But when we were buying it, we were in the middle of COVID, and we were down in Vero Beach. This car, after looking around quite a bit, came up. We had cash. That always helps. And the place that we found it, we talked with him, and I got him to knock down the price a little bit. Still, when we bought it, we paid, I believe, close to $8,000 for this. I would have never paid $8,000 for this 8 years ago. I mean, if the car was equally 8 years older, I wouldn't have done that. Times have changed drastically, but it was rust free. That was a huge thing for us because we were in Florida, and it basically start, ran, drove fine, but we wanted to make sure it was gone over before we handed it over to our son. So we went and put all new tires on it, real nice Michelins. We had a strut bushing in the back replaced. We had a front end alignment done, and we had an oil change, and we had the water pump and timing belt changed, all in one swap, because it was time for a timing belt service, and it's kind of a kit. When you're doing the timing belt, you might as well change the water pump. It's all together there. It's the same time. So we did all that, put new wipers on it, and he's been driving it ever since. It's had work since then. We had just recently the valve cover gasket replaced, an exhaust piece that got replaced. It's been rear-ended to the point where it had to go into a body shop for, I don't know, about a week. He then also backed into the lady out in the street that he saw the other day. I put that on the video. And we did have a nice stereo that was installed in there for him, so he could be hands-free when he drives. But the car works really well. I mean, it does really well. We're going to be hard-pressed to find that kind of situation again. I mean, but it's strange. I remember back, years ago, back in the, let's say, mid-90s, early 2000s, $8,000 bought you a very nice vehicle. Very, very nice vehicle.
you know, something that wasn't just so utilitarian as this. I mean, it was, you know, sporty, it was fast, it was nice looking, it was desirable. I mean, that kind of thing. But things have changed. So Heidi and I has been kind of looking. We don't know exactly what she wants to get into. Her and I are on the same page when we say we just want cheap. We like cheap. We like good deals. So it makes us bend our requests and requirements whenever the better the deal gets. So we would get something ugly if it's a great deal. We would get something that was not necessarily as practical as we would like if it was a great deal. So we'll have to see what happens. In the meantime, I have to take my stuff out of the truck. I'm going to back it up here and make sure it's all cleaned out. There's not a lot in there because I already cleaned it out whenever we decided we were going to sell it. Yeah, are we getting an RV? We're looking. We're still looking. We've had a couple. If it wasn't for the fact that we knew that we were going to be getting into another truck, we probably would have had an RV already picked out, and yeah, we would have had it. You would have already seen it. The more that we think about it, the more that we're involved with it. You know, the actual process of it, the whole thing. We are pretty dead set that we're going to get into a travel trailer again. Unless we move. I mean, like, move. Move, like really move somewhere. Not just locally for the next couple years or 3 years, but like if we move to another location, living in an RV is potentially something that we could do. So right now, as it stands, if I snapped my fingers, I'd have a extended cab, 4-wheel drive, long bed F-150, which you can't really find too many of those. I don't know what either a crew cab or long, extended cab. Seems like everybody wants short beds. I don't know. I've always liked long beds. It just works. It just works better. And we would have a travel trailer, not a big travel trailer either. Not. I don't even know if we would have something necessarily like our 30-footer. I'm thinking that we would have something maybe in the 28 to 24 foot range. It all depends on what it is. As it stands, it's about camping and going on trips. And I've always said from day one, if you go back and watch our videos way back, get the smallest thing you're comfortable with. So that's kind of where Heidi and I is trying to find that balance of what's the smallest thing we're comfortable with to travel in and to go camping in, and maybe with some extended stays. Of course, if you're living in it, now we're back to like a 30-footer. And if we're actually moving to a location and we plan on living in the RV for a period of time, then we're thinking about a fifth wheel, possibly. Heidi and I is getting ready to pack up tomorrow. So we'll be in South Carolina. I don't know when you guys are watching this, but yep, we'll be down in South Carolina. Not for a long period of time. I think we'll only be there for not even a full week. But yeah, Heidi, hopefully she gets a good snooze on when I start driving her down south, and we'll stop relatively early, I think, in the day, the first day, and try to relax, get a room, just relax. Then the next morning get up and then make our trek the rest of the way. We got some traveling to do, which we always enjoy traveling. It seems strange without an RV. If you guys that have been full-timing for a while, you probably, I don't know if you've traveled without your RV yet, but man, it's tough. It was really tough for us the very first time that we did it. And that was not having, actually being able to forget something behind. If you have your RV and you're traveling with it full-time, you don't ever leave anything behind unless you left it at the campsite. because it's always in your RV. You know, you're not forgetting your toothbrush, you're not forgetting your razor, you're not forgetting your deodorant, you're not forgetting your favorite shirt or your favorite pair of shoes, you're not forgetting a jacket. I mean, all that stuff is traveling behind you when you're going full time. The other thing that's really nice when you travel full time with the RV is no matter what time of day, no matter what location you're at any point in time, if you have set up your RV correctly, or if you've set your RV up to boondock, like in our case, you know, we had a generator on the back for power for the air conditioner. We had some pretty good sized batteries if we didn't want to run the generator and we just needed to run fans and electricity inside. You know, with the solar that was equipped on the fifth wheel. All that stuff makes it to where as you're going, you know, making your trip down the road, and you get tired and maybe it's 1:30 in the afternoon, just pull over, fire up your generator, climb in the RV and take a nap. If you get hungry, you could be in the middle of nowhere and it's not, let me try to find a restaurant. You know, let me try to find a place to you know, that looks good. You just pull over and again, fire up the generator and cook yourself a meal. And again, the same thing when you're tired. If it's late in the evening and you've driven further than you wanted to and you're in between truck stops, or if you're in between, you know, Flying J's or Walmarts or something, you just find a place to pull over and park that's safe and legal. And, you know, again, either fire up your generator, don't fire up your generator, and fall asleep. It's tough to do when you're in a vehicle just driving, because other than pulling off to the side of the road for a guy and opening the door and just taking a whiz wherever you're at, or just stopping somewhere and putting the seats back in the car and taking a nap, there's really none of that ability. Ooh, I'm shaking you guys. None of that ability whenever you guys are, you know, versus an RV where you can do all that stuff. So that's what we're going to do. In the meantime, I've already got the truck cleaned out. Unfortunately, the gentleman that's wanting to purchase the truck, he doesn't get off work till around 3:30. We told him to meet us up at the bank. He will then, you know, we'll do the title up there. I'll get it out of my name. And that's about it. I do have to go get the title from inside the house, make sure I have it handy. This has turned out to be a really great week. I mean, I love the weather, and you guys know how picky I am about that. This is, again, I've said it in a video in the past, this is just far and few between that Ohio has these beautiful, nice, warm, sunny days with blue skies. And I mean, there's quite a few clouds in the sky. That could potentially turn into some sort of little storm, but yeah, it's just so delightful. I really, really like the fact that we do have days in Ohio here that really, you know, shine and make this state unbelievable to live in. But most of the time it's cloudy and rainy. All right, so here's the site that we don't normally see, and that's us loading up this little thing to go on a trip. I got to get the GPS out. I want to get my radar detector out. My phone charger. Yeah, we'll do that. And meantime, Heidi's in here with suitcases, or, well,
Bringing the light one out.
so tell me this. How crappy is it that we're, yeah, I just heard him. That we're traveling and we have to do all this crap, like load up all our clothes, load up all our stuff.
Definitely not used to that.
Yeah, this is weird.